Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm here with the chapter At Do the Boys Hall, which is a part of a novel written by Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens was one of the most celebrated writers in 19th century. His novels like David Copperfield and Oliver Twist are based on his own childhood experiences, and his major works like Great Expectations, Bleak House, and Tale of Two Cities are there. His work is notable for its realism, social criticism, and comedy. So he's a great writer, most celebrated ones, and he has written this story. So this story is an extract, that means a part, a chapter, which has been taken from the Charles Dickens novels, whose name is Nicholas Nickleby. The name of the novel is Nicholas Nickleby, and in the novel, it is about a young man's struggle to support himself and his family after his father's death. When Nicholas starts a job at a boarding school called Do the Boys, he is taken aback. That means he is surprised by the way the students are treated by the headmaster, Wackford Squeers, and his wife. So when he joins the school, when Nicholas joins the school, the boarding school, Do the Boys, because he wanted to support his family financially after his father's death, he wanted to work. So he starts his job at Do the Boys Hall, that is the boarding school, and he is surprised by the ill treatment which is done with the children by the headmaster and his wife. What action does he take against them? We'll see it in the chapter. Alright, let's begin. "Past 7, Nickleby," said Mrs. Squeers on the first cold morning after Nicholas' arrival at Dotheboys Hall. So Mrs. Squeers comes up to the new teacher of the school, that is Nicholas, and he says that it is past 7, that means it's 7 o'clock. "Come, tumble up. The pump's frozen. You can't wash yourself this morning, so you must be happy giving yourself a dry polish till we break the ice in the well and we can get a bucket full out for the boys." And he says that, "Come, you need to get out of your bed. Come, tumble up. The pump's frozen." That means the hand pump is frozen. The water is not coming out, and you will not be able to wash yourself. You will not be able to take a bath. I hope you will not mind. You must be happy giving yourself. That means I hope you will not mind giving yourself a dry polish, a dry bath, till we break the ice in the well. The layer of the ice which has covered the well, so that we can get a bucket full out for the boys. That means for the children in the school. Nicholas put on his clothes, that means he gets dressed up, and he was about to leave when Mrs. Squeers, that means Mr. Squeers' wife, she comes into the room. She wore her night clothes and an ancient beaver bonnet. She was wearing a hat. "I can't find the school spoon anywhere, and it's brimstone morning today," she complained. And she says that she was not able to find the spoon, and it was brimstone morning. That means it was the day when they had to be given this brimstone tonic. Read this food for thought, children. Brimstone and treacle was a strong tasting tonic which was made with sulphur and molasses. In Victorian times, that means in the British times, it was given to children a few times a week in the morning to prevent the common ailments like coughs, cold, and stomach problems. So it was a tonic, it was a medicine which was given to children so that they can be protected from the common ailments like cough, cold, stomach problems. So she was not able to find that school spoon. There was a special spoon with which the children were given this tonic, this medicine. "We purify the boy's blood with it now and then," Nickleby Squeers explained. Since he was a new teacher, so he was explaining the norms of the school, the everyday things which they used to do. "Let me tell you plainly. Let me tell you in a simple way. We don't do it just for the good of it." That means there's not only one reason behind it. They have brimstone and treacle because they would always be ailing and giving a world of trouble if they didn't have something by the way of medicine. And she says that the first reason is that if you do not give them this medicine, then they would be ailing. That means they would be sick all the time, and we would be having a great trouble handling them. Also, it reduces their appetite and is cheaper than breakfast and dinner. So it does them good and us good at the same time. And the second reason that she was interested in giving brimstone to children was that it reduced their appetite, the amount of food that each child will eat. So she says that it does good to them as well as to the school at the same time. Brimstone and treacle was a tonic which was given to them first so that they can be protected against any kind of ailing. Second, it reduced their appetite, and the squeers did not have to arrange for a lot of food for them. So it saved their money. These people were greedy and they filled their pockets with all the money the parents of these children sent them. It was a boarding school. They used to remain in the school, they used to live in the school. So all the boys who were living here, their parents used to send money. And the squeers were greedy. They did not spend it on the development of the school, on the infrastructure for taking care of the children to provide them good resources. They used to save all that money to fill up their pockets. That is why they were given this brimstone and treacle, this medicine tonic. As Nicholas digested this information, that means he wasn't comfortable while hearing all this, so he just digested it, he just heard it and kept quiet. Mrs. Squeers went back to looking for the spoon in the closet, that means Almira, with Mr. Squeers helping. So both of them started finding the spoon in the almirah. After a great deal of fruitless rummaging, a boarder named Smike was called in. And after a great deal of rummaging, that means they tried to find out, they tried to search inside the cupboard, but it was fruitless. That means they were not able to find the spoon. A boarder, that means a boy of the school, whose name was Smike, he was called in. Mr. Squeers boxed his ears and asked him about the spoon. And Mr. Squeers gives him a tight slap and hits him at the side of the head and asks him about the spoon. "You might have it in your pocket, ma'am," Smike stuttered. And when he was asked about the spoon, Smike stutters. He was so scared of the headmaster and his wife that he was not able to speak confidently. He spoke out of nervousness in broken words, and he says, "You might have it in your pocket, ma'am." And he suggests that the spoon might be there in your pocket. Alright? Do you think it was the right way to treat Smike, to give him a tight slap? Did he do anything wrong? No. Then why did he hit him? Because it was their way to treat children. This was the ill treatment which was happening with the children at Do the Boys Hall. This was the first incident where we come to know about how Mr. Squeers used to treat children. Okay? Alright. So let's do this question. What was Mrs. Squeers looking for? What was she finding? Looking for means what was she searching for? What was she looking for? So she was looking for the school spoon with which she would be giving the medicine to all the children. Alright? So with this we come to the end of part 1 with the explanation of page 80. I hope it must be clear to you.